Welcome to Kart Class, brought to you by 18 times Australian champion David Serra. Kart Class strives to give kart racing drivers the fundamental driving skills, kart setup, and the mindset required to take you from beginner to winner. Your host, David Serra, has over 25 years' experience in kart racing and is the most successful driver in Australian history.
G'day guys, and welcome back to an episode of Kart Class. Today we're going to be discussing how to handle the race starts and lap one. Obviously, the race starts is quite a critical part to our race weekend because it gives you the best opportunity to be able to either, if you're at the front, try and make a gain on your competition, but also if you're in that mid-pack or you've had to start towards the rear of the field, it gives you the best opportunity to be able to make up the most amount of spots because obviously the karts are in the closest proximity to each other. So you really want to be able to try and maximize the first couple of laps to your advantage. So like I said, you can make up as many positions as you possibly can. So some of the things that we're trying to look out for when we're going into a race start is the competitors that we're around. Obviously, if you've raced a few of them regularly, you sort of start to develop and understand some of the basic traits that these drivers are going to be doing each race start. Now, some drivers are going to be quite nervous, so you can try and take note of, the ones who are sort of backing off a lot at the start rather than the ones who are quite aggressive and getting involved in accidents. You can see that some drivers who are going to leave the door open quite a bit more, so they're going to give you an opportunity to be able to pass them if it arises. So that's how I'd sort of best prepare myself before a race, having a look around the two rows in front of me, the two rows behind me, seeing what sort of drivers, what sort of skill level and experience they have, and then trying to get a bit of a mini plan of how I can best prepare myself as well. So when you're actually on the track and you're approaching the race start, obviously you want to be as close as you can to that bumper of the kart in front of you. It's important that if you are that half a kart behind trying to get the jump, the problem is if you just miss the jump, then the road to the outside or the inside of you can actually squeeze into that spot that you've just left open. So it's quite critical that you're not leaving any gap between the kart in front of you. So that's going to be quite important as well. Now, obviously, if you're on the inside row, you want to try and maintain that inside row just because you just limit the amount of chance that someone has to be able to slip up the inside of you. So the whole key is if you're on the outside, you want to try and squeeze into one of those gaps that hopefully someone's left that little bit of a gap for you. You want to try and squeeze into that position. The problem is if you get stuck on the outside is that with the speed that a lot of karts in close proximity are traveling at, if there is an accident with the speed that they're traveling at, they generally obviously get crashed and they end up with the speed pushing it towards the outside. So if you get stuck on the outside, then you're sort of stuck and you get involved in quite a few accidents as well. So you want to try and minimize the amount of opportunities that you have being on the outside. But in saying that, you can't always get to the inside as well. So you've got to sort of just make a quick split-second decision into regards to, can I get in? No, I can't. Well, if I can't get to the inside, I've got to try and commit to braking later than that row because you're generally on the better racing line. So you should have a bit more braking grip and hopefully you can squeeze your way in around the corner or on the exit of the corner. But again, quite a bit more dangerous to be getting stuck around the outside as well. And also trying to think about as well, taking note of the runoff area out of the turn one section, because if there's a tyre barrier there very close, or it's a street circuit, there's not much runoff, or whether you have just vacant land like a lot of a grass patch, then you might be able to take some more risks towards the outside if you know that if something was to go wrong, you might lose some positions by running off track, but you can still stay in the race. So I'll be taking that into consideration as well. Now, once the first corner gets underway, obviously in lap one, the keys for the first couple of corners is to try not to go towards the racing line, because if you're going to leave the door open, that someone behind you is just going to take that opportunity to try and slip underneath you. So again, for the first few corners, just trying to limit, even if you have to defend, you're probably not going to lose many spots. You might lose one or two around the outside if someone wants to take a big risk, but to be fair, you're better off staying in the race at this stage rather than trying to lose it or to get involved in someone else's accident as well. And then you'll sort of, as you peek your head over your shoulders, you'll be able to see at which stage of the track the karts start to gain a bit of a gap over each other as well. And that's when you start to look to go back to the racing line and proceed with the rest of your race. So Again, from the racing start, we just want to have a quick recap, is to stay as close as you possibly can to the kart in front of you. Also, before you go out to the race, have a look at the competitors that are around you. Know their characteristics, know their traits of what they normally do in regards to their racing starts. If you're on the inside row, don't leave the inside line. Just try and stay there. You might not make up as many positions, but if there's an accident, generally the inside row is going to sneak around the inside rather than the karts washing out towards the outside lane, and then they're going to get involved in accidents on the outside lane if you're stuck out there as well. Obviously, for the first lap, just trying to defend your line towards the inside so you don't leave the opportunity for other karts to slip underneath you. And that's basically what we have today for how to handle a race start and the opening laps. If you've enjoyed the episode, please click subscribe and leave us a review. And if there's anything you want to know more or for us to cover, then send an email to kartclass.com.au. We really appreciate your feedback, and we look forward to helping you guys out soon. Cheers.
If you've enjoyed today's episode and want to learn more about your kart racing, be sure to check out kartclass.com.au for driving courses catered to all skill levels.